On tonight's edition of the Overtime, we preview the Northland Preparatory Academy girls soccer team. Then we go over to Flagstaff High School to talk about their girls volleyball team. And then no Big Sky sports for the fall, what you're missing out on. All that and more coming up on this edition of the Overtime, and it starts right now. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to this edition of the Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Mr. McKenzie, and welcome to the first Overtime of the semester. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have a lot of sports to talk about tonight, and joining me is sports reporter Sadie Thompson. Sadie, we have a lot to talk about, so are you ready to get this started?
Yes, Mitchell, let's get right into it.
That's right, Sadie, and let's get into our first topic, and let's talk about the Northland Preparatory Academy girls soccer team. These girls have a solid roster every year, and this year might be that year for another championship trophy. Last year, this team went 18-0 while being 6-0 in the conference. Sadie, these girls have done a lot. So what can these girls do to bring home that championship trophy, and who are some girls that stand out on this year's team?
Yes, Mitchell, this group of girls share something special. The team has taken the 2A conference title 3 years in a row, and if they continue the sweep, they will be crowned champions for 4 consecutive years, going undefeated and ultimately dominating all of the competition last season. And this gives us a lot to talk about. All aspects of this team are solid, but we are going to start off with highlighting senior Mia Blair. Blair has been a key component of this team the last 3 years and has the hardware to prove it. Blair was selected to the Top Drawer Soccer Fall All-Star team and is on the watch list for the All-American team. In her career, she has had 45 goals and 37 assists. And last season, Blair was named 2A Conference Player of the Year, and it was her second time receiving the award.
The Spartans' first game will be on September 22nd, away against Blue Ridge. Best of luck to the Spartans this season on the soccer field. Well, now let's move on to talk about Flagstaff girls volleyball. These girls had an amazing season, going 15-3 overall while being 11-1 in conference play. These girls really look good this year, as most of the players will be returning for the fall. So Sadie, with that in mind, who are some star players on this girls volleyball team that can stand out early on this season?
Yes, Mitchell, with lots of returning athletes, this roster really did not take any hits for this upcoming season. Coach Beth Haglund has led this team to many wins over her career and has helped these athletes get to where they are today. With only losing 1 conference game last season, the team is in great shape to continue their success. One key player on this Eagle team is Grace Linez. She is a multi-athlete and a huge contributor to the success of Flagstaff High School athletics. Nez is a junior and not new to the varsity level, as she has seen the competition since she was a freshman. Over Nez's career, she has achieved a .256 hitting percentage, gotten 67 aces, 844 kills, and 66 digs. The Eagles are going on the road to take on Lee Williams High School and will take the court for the first time without fans on October 15th at 6 p.m.
Well, Sadie, you're right. Going into an environment with no fans is going to be a challenging task. I want to go into a specific game and talk about how good this team really is, because they really do show a lot of pride on the court. Let's go back to last year, September 10th. The Eagles did travel to Tempe, Arizona to face Marcos Deniza. In this game, Sadie, Grace Linez had 27 kills and 63 attacks. This Eagles team took Marcos Deniza out in 4 sets. I'm going to be very interested in watching this team because they will face their in-town rival, Coconino, earlier on in the season, where they split the series last year. Best of luck to the Eagles this fall. Now, staying on that topic, by going over to the other side, let's talk about those Coconino Panthers. They had some big wins last season, beating Mojave in all 3 matchups, winning their only matchup against Mingus Union. Now, Sadie, this team faces Flagstaff in the first 4 weeks, and they won that last matchup in a tough 5-set, which can be exhausting. So what can this Panthers team do to perfect their game on the court and grab some wins against top teams in their division?
Yeah, great question, Mitchell. Although the Panthers did not finish with a winning record last season, there is a lot more hope for this team this upcoming season. This team is very junior and senior heavy, so the experience is there and the team has several leaders. Brooke Parker has been a great asset to this team in the setting position. Parker has over 2,000 assists in her career and averages over 7 a game. She has been on varsity the past 3 years and is about to start her senior season. Parker has 171 aces, 289 kills, and Parker is not only a key part of this offense, but puts in the work on defense as well. Parker had 585 digs last season.
The Panthers' first game is September 23rd against the Saguaro SaberCats. Best of luck to the Panthers this season. Now as we move on to college sports, here at NAU, all fall sports have been canceled and they have moved to the spring, like football, women's soccer, women's volleyball, and NAU cross country. It started with football on August 7th. So Sadie, we're living in a difficult time right now with the coronavirus, and sports we wanted to see didn't happen, but there is good news, I promise you. All those sports are coming back in the spring with or without fans. Sadie, who are some teams from the fall season you have your eyes on to potentially bring a Big Sky trophy back to Flagstaff?
Yeah, Mitchell, 2020 has been a whirlwind as a whole, and it is really exciting to see sports slowly coming back. I am looking forward to the spring so we're finally able to cover college athletics again, even if fans can't be present. The first sport I'm looking forward to is NAU football. Big changes have been happening to this offense as NAU takes on its first season without starting quarterback Case Cookis since 2015. Since sports came to a halt, the recruiting process has been elongated, and the Lumberjacks are going to see many new faces as the season approaches. One addition to the roster fans need to watch out for is freshman running back Tyson Grubbs. Grubbs is a Phoenix local and graduated from Desert Vista High School. He suffered an injury his junior year, but still managed to rush for almost 2,000 yards during his high school career. Moving on to more NAU athletics, let's talk about the women's volleyball team. With many athletes graduating, there is one returning starter we are all eager to watch and take on her senior season, and that is Heaven Harris. With lots of open spaces on the roster and fall camp being in full swing, head coach Ken Murphy says improvements are being made in serving and blocking. So make sure to look out for these Lumberjack teams and be sure to still show your support even if you're not able to attend the games.
And yeah, Sadie, just announced on Wednesday night the NCAA basketball will start on November 25th. NCAA Vice President of Basketball Dan Gavitt stated that they will start their season on this date due to the fact that most schools will have their final semester ending around the time when they officially start the season. I am so excited to have college basketball back, and I know a lot of people were disappointed, but March Madness will be back as well in 2021, this coming March and April. Well, coming up, our sports reporter Jasmine Navarrete went out to preview the Flagstaff Eagles football team. Plus, Sadie and I will come back to discuss Coconino football as their season approaches in the next couple of weeks. All that and more next on the Overtime in the next block. Stay with us.